Hello, welcome back to my game journal. This is my third game journal, and today I will be dissecting the foundations of Undertale and Human Fall Flat in regards to the varying structures of both games. Contrasts and objectives. While both Human Fall Flat and Undertale do incorporate puzzle-like aspects, Human Fall Flat is more focused on the puzzle and obstacle sense of completing the game, whereas Undertale focuses on building the environment and not only offering puzzles to help progress throughout the game, but also offering NPC encounters with different creatures as well as complex resources and items that can be used throughout the game, such as weapons, armor, consumables, as well as miscellaneous items that can be used, such as keys or resources that can be used for a chance to spawn other resources. And these resources are essential to providing the variety in both games and especially in Undertale. Now, the resources I will be covering in a second. However, the objectives in Undertale vary from that in Human Fall Flat because Undertale's objective is more complex than just completing the obstacles and the courses. The objective in Undertale is not only to finish the game, but the objective itself changes throughout time. When you first start the game, the player is under the impression that the goal is to escape the world, whilst in reality the objective is to familiarize oneself with the environment and world around them to survive, and at the end, to weigh the balance of morality and the rights and wrongs of the world around them. Undertale's objective is to spread a message to the real-world player, which weighs, in a difficult situation, what is right and what is wrong. That is for the player to determine. Let us move on to the resources. The tools and resources in Human Fall Flat versus that of Undertale. In Undertale, the resources are much more vast, and as I mentioned earlier, do include consumables, which can be used to heal players' health throughout battles, as well as weapons to fight during encounters with aggressive NPCs and creatures throughout the world around them, armor to help survive attacks from these interactions and aggressive creatures, as well as miscellaneous items such as keys to unlock different locations throughout the map and the world, such as the silver key, as well as items that can help to spawn different items, such as the dog salad being obtainable through dog residue, as well as not only keys to help progress, and not only items that could spawn other items, but there are also items that can be used to interact with the NPCs themselves and engage different encounters. These different resources impact the choices that the player may make throughout the game. As if a player has a weapon, They are much more likely to take the aggressive path when facing NPCs and encountering them, rather than trying to run or attempting to survive and not be the aggressor. The difference in this complexity between Undertale and the world of Human Fall Flat is Human Fall Flat is a much more simpler mesh and ground build. Human Fall Flat, the mechanics include interactable arms that allow the players to interact and solve puzzles, as well as tools riddled throughout the maps, such as the levers for the wrecking ball or movable blocks that allow the player to scale towers and large objects. The players are also subject to tools that allow them to manipulate the map, such as the Rect tool, which allows the player to manipulate corners, the Scale tool, which allows the player to climb and scale blocks, the Moves and Scale tool, which allows the player to orientate, manipulate the size and location of an object, as well as the Undo tool, which allows the object that was manipulated by the player to be redone and gone back to its standard form. These tools and resources in Human Fall Flat allow the player to complete the levels and obstacles throughout the courses in order to progress and advance and complete the courses throughout the game. The difference between Undertale and Human Fall Flat in regards to the resources available is that while one focuses on providing the resources necessary to complete the game, the other one provides resources that enable the player to make a choice. The resources in Undertale allow the player to make a choice between what the perceived right choice in a hard choice moment is. And the hard choice moment will depict what choices the player may make with the resources available to them. And the result of those decisions can have a lasting impact on the player's story and make, at the end of the day, make the player and the real-world player question whether they made the right choice. One game, Human Fall Flat, focuses on providing the resources and tools necessary to complete the game, while Undertale provides resources for the choice to have the liberties of the player to make their own choices. That is my game journal for week number 3 of dissecting the foundations of Undertale and Human Fall Flat and the differences in the objectives of the games and the resources and tools available throughout them. Thank you. That is my game journal for week number 3.